Hello and welcome to Katrina's Creations. Today we are going to do a tutorial for making a coin purse. Now this particular purse that I've made is actually for sunglasses or for a small cell phone. So this one we're going to be making, but we're not making it as long. It's going to be cut off about here. So I am going to be showing you how to attach the edging here and the pattern that I am using to make this. And there's two different patterns that I've been doing. The first thing you're going to need for your supplies is going to be the change purse clasp. You can get these many places. I got these from Temu. I think I bought like 6 of them. I forget what I paid for them. They have this little clip here if you wanted to attach a keychain, but they just open up. This one is a round or half moon shaped. It opens up to a round one. They also make some that are squared off. So if you have one that is squared off, you would want to make the change purse itself rectangular or square, but the attachment up here will be the same. So I'm going to be doing the tutorial for the type with the round, the curved side here. So you will need this. You will need some yarn or thread. Now you do want to use a cotton because you don't want to use an acrylic that's going to stretch. So a cotton, a bamboo, a linen, anything like that that doesn't have a whole lot of stretch to it. What I used for this one was simple doily yarn that you use, and I am holding it double. The other one that I am going to make, which is basically this pattern, except I'm only making it about that height, so it'll look like that. I have one made, and this one was used holding 2 of these together. The crochet hook that I am using size-wise is a 3.75 millimeter. So we will begin first by making this style. And as you can see, it sits right up in here very nicely. That's what it'll look like when it's done. So I've already made one, and I'm going to make a duplicate of this. So again, I am holding my 2 skeins together for this. I'm going to begin with a magic loop. So here I have the magic loop. I'm going to put 6 single crochets in this. Single crochet is the stitch I will be using for the entire project for both purse patterns. So there's 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. So I'm now going to tighten the loop. And you want to make sure we're not making this in a circle like you would with this one. We are making a half circle. So you're not going to pull your stitches all the way around here. I'm going to chain 2. There's 1 and 2, and turn your work, and you're going to put 2 single crochets into each stitch. So we've already come up here. I'm going into another single crochet into that same stitch, and then I'm going to go all the way across, putting 2 into each stitch. So you should have a total of 12. Now, as you can see, my loop has opened up again, so I give it another good tug. I just tie that loop so it stays nice and tight. And I will be crocheting the ends in as I go in just a few minutes. I'm going to clip off this excess so I don't crochet it from the wrong end and end up crocheting the tail of my yarn. So we're just going to trim that off. We'll get ready for the next row. So we're going to chain 2. 1 and 2. And this time we are going to go to the next stitch, which will be right here. We'll put 2 single crochets into that. So there is 1 and 2. And then the next row we will put 1 crochet, or the next stitch we will put 1 crochet in. And the next stitch we will put 2 single crochet in. And then 1 crochet, single crochet, and 2 single crochet, and 1 single crochet, and 2 single crochet all the way around. So you should now have, when you get to the end of the row, you should have 18 single crochet. You're now going to chain 2. Turn your work. Now you're going to be doing 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then 2 single crochet. So this is our first one. Here is our second single crochet. And now we'll put 2 into the next stitch. And then 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet. And then 2 single crochets into the next stitch, and you're going to do that all the way across. We now are on our last row that forms the curved part, so you're going to chain 2, and this time it will be 3 single crochet and then 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So this is our first stitch. Here's our second, here's our third, and then 2 single crochet. 1 and 2. Again, we're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and 2 single crochets, and you're going to go all the way across. We've now completed the arch part. We're now going to get ready to work our way across, doing the single crochet straight across to form this portion. So what we're going to do, this is also when we will be weaving in these edges here. We'll be just crocheting them right in as we go across. So you're going to turn your work so your arch is upside down. like this. And you are going to chain 2. And then you're going to stitch across here. You want 15 single crochets. So you're going to kind of work your way across. You want that 8th crochet or single crochet to be right in the center where your magic ring was. So it's going to be a total of 15. So we have 1, and there's 2, so you're going to be kind of inventing where your stitches go because you're going into the sides of those single crochet, and you want the 8th single crochet to be right in the center where your magic ring is. So we have 4 at this point. Five, 6, 7, and here we are. This 8th one is going to be in the magic ring itself. And I'm going to put these loose ends right up here, and I'm actually going to incorporate them into the stitch as I go across. So that's 8, so I need 7 more. And the last one. 7. Okay, and I have put the yarn tail in this as I went across. So now I'm going to chain 2. One, 2, and I am going to single crochet all the way across all of these stitches, and I'm going to continue that for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. You could make it longer if you wanted to make something like this. You could make it as long as you would want. I'm going 4 rows, which would take it to about, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, about to here. So if you want to pause the video and come back when you've done all 4 rows, you can do that. All right, I'm done. I think in the last clip I said to do 4 rows. It's actually 6 rows. So I've now finished the 6 rows. I'm going to clip my yarn and tie it off. Like that. Now I'm just going to use a single strand for the rest of the project. And I'm finished with the crochet hook. I'm now going to be using a darning needle. I also will be using an embroidery needle to attach the actual coin purse part because the holes here are too small for the darning needle. But for this part, we can use this. And I'm going to place my pieces together, right sides facing, and I'm just going to be sewing around the rectangle part here. I'm not going to sew the arch because that's going to be incorporated into this. So we will get started just sewing the rectangle section. Just make sure your edges meet up. And I'm going to tie it. I'll weave all the ends in when I'm done. Or if I'm lucky and I can get it, I'm going to weave them in as I go. I'm just going to loop them in. So you're going to be doing a stitch that laps over top of these. You don't want to do straight up and down because you might end up with gaps and that the coins would fall out, which would be bad. So we're going to go, make sure you're catching both sides here. Pull it up and then go in, coming in from the back to the front. And then catching that loop as I go. Again, making sure I'm getting stitches from the front and the back pieces. There's another end here that I'm going to weave in as I go. This part of this tutorial will be the same whether you're making this change purse or the round one. All right, I've now gone all the way around. I'm going to turn this inside out now. So the right side is now facing out. There we go. Now, as you can see, this needle is too big to go through these. So I left a tail of my yarn, just single. If your thread is too thick, you can also use embroidery floss. So that's an option if you find it's too thick. I'm not sure if this is going to be too thick or not, but I'm going to be using an embroidery needle. You do want to check to make sure ahead of time that it is going to fit through those holes. So you're going to open up the clasp, and here's what your little purse looks like. So you want to make sure that you're attaching the right side to the right part of the purse, and you want to make sure that this is where the edge of the hinge is, that this is where your joined area goes. You're going to put your work right up into this little, you can see there's a little groove right in here. You want to make sure that your crochet is up inside there. Like that. And the first stitch is going to come up through the back side and come up into this very first hole. Making sure you are grabbing some of that crocheted fabric as you go. So you can see I've got some attached. You can see it right in there. You just want to make sure you keep it stuffed up into that little groove. I'm now going to go down into the next hole, and I want to make sure again that I grab some of that crochet on my way through. And pull it tight. Now I'm going to go back up through this same hole, but I want to make sure that I don't grab the same bunch of crochet. Otherwise it's just going to undo your stitch. And you do want to kind of eyeball to make sure that this edge is going to meet over here. You don't want it to end up all the way over here. So you do want to kind of keep an eye as you're going. You can kind of stretch and pull a little bit with this, but this is one of the reasons why acrylic is a problem. So we're now going to go into this third little hole, and again catch some of the fabric on the way through. And we're going to come back up through that same hole, grabbing some more of the crocheted bag on our way. And you're going to continue this all the way around until you get to the other side here. So I now have finished all the way across. This is what it looks like from the inside. Now I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to repeat the exact same thing on this side, and then your change purse will be complete. Now I am going to begin the tutorial for the circular version of this pattern, which is here. So we're going to start working on this one next. Now the circular version is going to start out pretty much identical to the semicircular one. You're going to start with a magic loop. You're going to begin with 6 single crochet in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then you're going to draw your ring tight. And unlike the semicircular one, you are going to have your stitches go completely around in a circle, where if you remember the semicircular one, we only had it go halfway around. So you're going to pull it tight and then slip stitch that last stitch to close that circle and hold it closed. Like that. We're going to chain 2. And we're going to put 2 stitches in each stitch all the way around. One, 2, 3, 4, and 11. And 12. I did clip the tail of the yarn here just because it was getting in the way. So now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do single crochet and then 2 single crochet all the way around. You're going to join your stitches. Like that. I'm going to try to move this a little bit closer here, because I think my focus is off just a hair. Alright, so I have joined the circle, I am going to chain 2. And this round I am going to do 2 single crochet and then 2 single crochet in the next stitch. So it'll be single crochet, then 2 single crochets, then single crochet, and then 2 single crochets. So if you want to pause the video at this point, you can do so and then come back. So this is just before I join this row. You should have a total of, counting the chain up, you should have a total of 24 posts. And we're going to join this chain, or we're going to join this row here. I'm going to chain up 2. And I know some of you are thinking normally you just chain up 1. I just, for myself, it just works better to have 2. I just feel like it doesn't tip that stitch over when I join it back up again. On this row, you're going to count this as your, as before, you're going to count this as your first single crochet, and you're going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches. So that would be 2 and 3. So you have a total of 3 single crochets. And then you're going to do 2 single crochets into the next stitch. There's 1 and 2. You're going to single crochet into the next 3 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to put 2 single crochets into this stitch. And you're going to continue this pattern all the way around, and you should have a total of 30 single crochets. So if you want to pause the video and go the rest of the way around, we will rejoin when we're getting ready to join the round. So I've gone all the way around. I'm going to join. Chain up 2, and this round I'm going to have a total of 4 single crochet and then 2 crochet into the next stitch. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to put 2 single crochet into this stitch. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. You should have a total, including the chain up, of 36 posts by the time you finish the round. So pause the video again and join me when I get to this round here. I now have 36 posts, and I'm going to join in the round here. The next row is going to be 5 single crochets and then a double crochet. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we will put 2 single crochets into the 6th stitch. You're going to repeat this all the way around, and you should have a total stitch count of 42. So pause the video and go all the way around and join me again when we're ready to join in the round here. Now I have joined my round here, and I'm going to compare sizes with the other circle that I've already made, and you can see that I need one more round to equal this size. You can make this bigger. You're just going to continue to increase the number of single crochets you do in between the 2 single crochets in one stitch. So we have one more row to go, so we're going to chain up, and this time we will have 6 single crochets before we do 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So you will have a total of 48 going all the way around. So you can pause the video and we will go all around together and join back up when we get to the end of the round. Okay, I have gone all the way around, and I am going to double check my size here to make sure I am the same, and I'm the same size on both of these. So I'm going to join this round together, like this. And then I'm going to leave a long tail here, and I'll explain why. Because I'm going to now put my right sides facing each other, and I will use the long tail end to actually sew halfway around the circle. So we're going to be doing very similar to what we did here. You were going to, like I said, put your right sides together. We're going to leave a long tail of thread here. So let me pull this through. I just generally give it a little twist here and then pull it through like that. And then I will attach the 2 together. I'll put my right sides facing the inside, and I will use this long tail, put it through my darning needle, and I will sew halfway around the circle. Then I'll flip it just as I did with this. I'll flip it inside out, and then I'll use the same technique to attach the open ends on both sides for a little change purse. So I hope you have found this tutorial helpful. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you again on my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.